What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Drunken Chicken Diaries, and this time I'm really excited. I got my girl Staci Static in the house.
Hey.
Hey. So yeah, man, I'm really excited that you're here. We had a little snafu the last time you were supposed to come.
Here we go.
But I'm not gonna give you a hard time about that.
Okay.
I already did.
Yes, you did. And I already knew you were mad, so I came to extend the olive branch.
Yeah, so as you know, you're on the Drunken Chicken Diaries, which means you got to drink with me.
Oh.
So you knew that coming in. That's why
did.
I had to get you this fancy bourbon that we're going to talk about in a second. But first, we're going to take a shot of it. Well, you are.
You won't drink bourbon with me?
No.
And normally I do not shoot this, Bobby. This is a sipping
How about
bourbon.
you sip it quickly?
No, I'm going to do a shot. We're going to do a shot. Jesus.
Fine.
I have to work tomorrow.
Would the people at Basil Hayden's be offended if you shot a shot?
I don't think so. I think they're just excited that I'm...
Yo, I got a story about that, too.
About the bourbon?
Somebody else knew about that.
Oh.
And I was shocked.
Oh, you were shocked.
Jeez.
Why is my shot bigger than yours?
Okay, wait. Don't threaten me with a good time.
That's what I want to know. I'm like, am I drinking or are we drinking together?
Hey, Tatum, she's drinking whole shots, bro.
Oh, Jesus.
Right,
this is going to be the only shot that I
that's fine.
take.
All right, you ready?
I told you, give me some Jaeger.
I
to a good show.
Find myself buying that. Don't act like you've never done a shot with me. Maybe that was Patron.
Oh, my God. Which I do not drink. It does not agree with me.
Does that agree with you?
Yes.
So, very quickly.
Oh, it's so delicious.
We'll get into that in a second. Is it good even when you shoot it?
It's just a good bourbon.
I wouldn't know. I thought Maker's Mark was good.
I like this better.
I went to college in Louisville, so that's why.
Okay. Well, it's straight Kentucky bourbon. But
all I know is Maker's Mark, where they dip it in the wax.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know brown liquor. I had a bad experience when I was a kid. I was drinking my dad's scotch. Well, I wasn't drinking it, but the smell of it was just horrible. Horrible. So anyway.
Well, the Kentucky bourbon only comes from Kentucky.
Just like Patron or tequila only comes from a certain region in Mexico.
So I like straight Kentucky bourbon.
So what if it wasn't in Kentucky? What if they made that in Indiana? It was whiskey?
It's whiskey.
So if you travel off the Jefferson Bridge to go to Indiana, it's whiskey.
It's whiskey, but Kentucky bourbon.
So since it's in Kentucky, it can be called that.
Yes, straight Kentucky.
It cut the shit out of my finger.
Why, just now?
No, because of the way the bottle's made, there's paper on it. So I was grabbing the bottle and it sliced me. And
when you bought it?
You see that?
Oh,
that
God.
really hurts.
And he got a paper cut. I'm sorry, Bobby. Thank you for my bourbon.
You're welcome. You can have that bottle, too.
Yay!
Because you'll probably be the only one that ever drinks that.
Oh, my goodness.
So anyway, Staci Static's in the house. I'm a little nervous because usually this is like her deal, her audio thing and radio and all this stuff. So now it's your turn to be in the hot seat for me to interview you. And I appreciate you coming for that. So, yeah, I'm not going to steal your shine. This show's about you. So I want you to kind of give some people that may not know who you are and may not have a face to the voice. Just tell people
who I am?
Who you are, where you came from.
Well, I'm from St. Louis originally. I'm the youngest of 3. I'm a girl mom. I have 2 beautiful daughters. And yes, one is a full adult.
Grown up.
And the other is a minor. So I have 2 only children is what I call them. I did 20 years in radio as a radio personality. I was also music director, assistant program director. I do television, video, hosting, influencer work. I'm currently employed with Spectrum Business, so I sell to businesses. So if you need communication systems for your business, I'm available to do that as well. In-home businesses as well.
So you spent majority of your career behind a microphone in a radio station.
I did.
And
in a room by myself.
That's how we met.
That's how we met.
So I met you. Do you remember when we met?
You came to the radio station for something. I don't know what.
Huge hair.
I'm sure it was some clip-ins or a wig or a weave.
No, it was big. It was
it a
too
wig?
Much. I think it was. Yeah, we later discussed it.
It was a wig. Okay.
Yeah, you had glasses on. This was a few years back. It was maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I wish it was longer. I wish I knew you for longer than that.
Oh, okay.
Because you're a really good friend of mine.
Yes, we are good friends.
I really appreciate your friendship. So, yeah. But yeah, I met you in the radio station. I was somebody called me from the station and asked me to bring some wings up there.
Oh, okay.
It might have been 314 Day. Several years ago.
Yeah, I don't know what day or what was going on at the station, but
we didn't really we were introduced, and then I think we later became friends a few months after that.
Yeah.
Or maybe like the next following year. I don't know.
Yeah, it was in that time period.
Yeah.
That we
became friends, and one of the things about you is why I really like you is because, and this is gonna sound crazy, but you're gonna understand what I mean.
Okay.
I don't feel like you're smarter. I don't feel like I'm smarter than you. I feel like you're so intelligent. Like, no, listen. Have you ever been talking to somebody? No, listen. Have you ever been talking to someone and you just thought to yourself like, I'm smarter than you? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe not in those words.
But you don't feel that way about me?
No, I don't feel like I'm smarter than you, and that's so I met my match when it comes to like talking.
Oh, you
shit.
Don't feel like you're smarter than me? Oh,
right.
Okay, got you.
I feel like I've met like it's very rare that I meet people that are like smarter than me.
Oh, okay, I got you.
According to me,
he's so vain.
But,
I told you,
I mean,
ridiculous.
when I get intimidated by somebody's intelligence or somebody's wit, I want to be friends with them.
Got you. Because you want them to teach you something.
Yeah,
you want to surround yourself with people.
And I know that they're not just full of shit.
Right.
So you got to be intelligent and genuine, which is you.
Oh, thank
and
you.
That's why we've been friends. And,
Yeah.
Well, I've called you many times when I was having bad days, and you're one of those people that I know when I talk to on the phone, I'm not gonna have a boring conversation with.
No, it can go in all directions.
Like you've answered or you've seen your phone ring, and like you didn't really want to answer the phone because you're like, that it's gonna be like, hey, what are you doing?
Right.
Nothing. What are you doing? And then you're just bored. So I never had that with you. You're always full of energy, even when you're not. So I appreciate that. And yeah, the whole radio thing, like, I mean, just coming from my perspective and growing up with Magic 108 in St. Louis, like for the past many years, I grew up listening to you and hearing your voice and stuff. And I
grew up listening to me?
I grew listening to you. I'm gonna drink to that. Mom.
Okay, let me just say, I'm gonna pour myself another drink, but I won't be shooting
my 30s,
this.
You can sip your shot.
Thank
cup.
you.
But yeah, I mean, you're like a household name in St. Louis
media. Okay, I'll take that.
I would say the urban community, but just I mean, everybody knows who you are.
Yeah.
Because you told me a couple stories about how you'd be at like Walgreens and somebody would say they would recognize you, but not by your face, just by your voice.
If I speak in public.
You've even told me about a drive-through situation, like a couple times. So. Your voice is very unique, and like I used to hear your voice on commercials after we became friends, and I'd be like, "Yeah, it's my girl." Like,
right.
I'd be like, "Yeah," I was proud of you because I knew that you got paid for like
doing
endorsements. Those things. Yeah. So like I was like, every time I heard a new one, I'd be driving and be excited for you. So
thank you.
Yeah, I mean, so your radio, man, like there's so many things that I want to ask you about that because
that's fine.
I've asked you. But I don't know if I've really got in like detail, and I'm not going to dig into it too far. But like, how did you get into radio?
Well, the very first radio thing that I did on 88.1 with G Wiz, who is marrying my sister April 24th.
Really?
Yes, he was the very first person to put me on the radio on 88.1. He was doing a hip hop show. He was looking for a female. And I was working at Streetside Records on Delmar at the time when it was still in the Loop.
Landmark.
Yeah, and I was working there, and I met this guy, and he knew that I was into hip hop, and I read Source magazine religiously, and so he told G Wiz about me. So I went to his apartment, and it was like crates everywhere, and he was just asking me a couple of questions. So he was just like, "All right, cool, come Friday and be on the radio with us."
So you were already into music.
I was already into music. I had gone to school already to be a music major, and I came back. So this was like in the time period. I only went away to school in Chicago for a year, and I came back and got a job at Streetside Records. Met this guy. He introduced me to G Wiz. I ended up doing 88.1. Just on Friday nights, it was a hip hop show. So I was all into hip hop. I was like one of those girls. And
what's that movie? I'm sorry, that movie with Tate Diggs.
That was definitely me.
What movie was that? Was that the
Brown Sugar?
No, was it Brown Sugar?
I think so.
Where he was like,
when did you fall in love with hip hop?
Yeah. Was that you?
That was me.
That's awesome.
That was totally me. So, I was this hip hop girl. So I started doing that show. And I remember I met like Diggable Planets while I was there. And I remember that was like my first taste of interviewing celebrities. I think that Flavor Flav came in one night, and he was on the show with us. So, and that was, I mean, I was green. I had to be like 19 years old.
Were you starstruck?
No.
Because that's one of my questions.
No, I've only been starstruck a few times, but that wasn't that. But yeah, it was definitely a taste, and I had never even thought about radio prior to that.
So you didn't like grow up thinking I want to go to school for broadcasting and all this stuff?
No, I wanted to be a singer. Okay. I always.
Can you sing?
I can. Have
I ever heard that?
I don't think
Probably
so.
Not.
I have friends that literally, like the people who call me Kim, know I can sing.
I call you Kim.
Well, you don't know I can sing, but the people who grew up with me know that I started as a singer.
Okay.
And then
Nufala, she knows you can sing?
No.
I love her name.
Nufala does not know I can sing.
Right.
But yeah, like the people who grew up with me from like grade school, high school.
Okay.
And then obviously the people that I went to college with in Chicago, they know me as a singer. So when I started this radio thing, they were like, what happened to the singing? And I'm just like, well, I'm still using my voice.
Still got a microphone.
Right. I'm still in music and I'm still using my voice, so there you have it.
Okay.
But that's how. And to go back to how I ended up on commercial radio, Deja Vu, who is on what station is she on now? She's syndicated. She's still in radio. She actually hired me to work at 100.3 The Beat.
Okay. So you worked at The Beat.
Worked at The Beat. That was my very first commercial radio station.
So during that, like, I want to ask you about like the music. Do you remember scrambling to get like what's hot? Because like, you know Shay Money, like,
yeah.
Okay, so she's a buddy of mine. She's not like a friend, but like she's the homie. And like when she transitioned from like painting houses to like, or her
doing DJing
to DJing, I'm like wow, like I was like,
she's fantastic.
And then she just went from like playing around to like being great.
Yes.
I'm like, good for you.
She knows how to market herself. Shay, I cannot sing her praises enough.
Yo.
She sounds good. Like she's one of the ones that I'm like, she got it.
Yeah, I'm really, really proud of her because she had a boutique, like the Pink Boutique.
Doesn't she still do that? She still
probably
sells the clothes?
I don't know.
Right.
Like
she's a whole marketing thing. So.
And so like when I was listening to her, because I never really knew anybody that. Like, I didn't know them, and then they became on the radio. Like, I already knew them from the radio. So, like, I was thinking, like, well, how does she keep up to date with all this shit? Because, I'm like, my son, who's 18, will, like, be like, Dad, have you heard this? I'm like, no. They all sound the same to me.
Well, yeah, now. To me, it's difficult now.
So, I mean, yeah, it's difficult now because but maybe back in our day because everybody had their own different...
Yeah, because I definitely liked more, like, backpacker hip-hop.
Did you ever feel like you were playing shit that you didn't like? I'm sure you did.
Absolutely.
But you played it because you had to.
Yeah, well, when I was a music director, the beautiful thing about being a music director, because I was able to start now picking the music. So it was a lot more R&B. I definitely gravitated more towards the R&B stuff. As opposed to the hardcore hip hop, and then I was able to introduce them like Pac Div and people like that people never even heard of, but like Wiz Khalifa, I knew about him before he became before he got signed. Right, I was telling the label
when he dropped Paper Planes, I'm like, yo, this dude is hard.
Yeah, and like when I was telling when he dropped Kush and Orange Juice, was it Kush and Orange Juice? That was a mixtape, and I was telling the label like, dude is cold. No, I was telling my PD at the time, dude is cold. He was like, who is he? He didn't even have a major label deal yet. So when he got signed with the label, I was already on him.
Yeah.
So, but that's the kind of hip hop that I've always gravitated towards. I keep saying graduated towards. That's this liquor, this damn liquor.
That one shot.
That one shot.
So there were times when you had to play shit that you just knew that this was ass, and I got to play it anyway.
I'm gonna just tell you. I mean, towards the end of my tenure working in hip hop, it was a Boosie record. And I don't know, I can't remember what he said, but I was like, yo, my time. It's my time. I'm ready to go to Urban AC now.
Thank you, Boosie.
Yeah, thank you, Boosie. Yeah, I was over it. I was like, but
there was a moment when you're like, all right.
I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a moment where I was like, okay, I've aged out. I've aged out of hip hop.
And then you transitioned into like R&B.
Yeah, the Urban AC side. But then once I got over there, I was like, this ain't me either.
Yeah. I remember talking to you like, it's cool and all.
Well, when I first got there, they still had the Temptations in the rotation. Yeah. And I was like, yo, I didn't fall in love to the Temptations. My mother was courting and falling in love. You know what I'm saying? There was a Boys to Men in the background. Imagine Tevin Campbell. Like, can we get some of that? Right. So it was a little too old for me. And as I And then they changed it up a bit because they knew, and I complained, and because I was in a position of power, I was able to influence that. So Urban AC has younged. It has gotten a little younger. It's
young as in our age.
It's in our age, okay. Yeah. It's like from our late teens, early 20s. Okay. That's the Urban AC that you hear now.
That's what's up,
Babyface and, stuff like that.
Babyface, yes.
Not the Temptations.
Yeah,
that's considered
that's
like...
my mom's
Exactly.
era.
That's like gold and...
Yeah, that makes me feel like, okay, I'm listening to the oldies.
Exactly.
So I wonder if my son would listen to Boyz II Men now or Jodeci and feel like he's listening to the oldies.
Well, I think that our kids, like...
He appreciates
exactly.
Stuff,
there's not a kid that doesn't like 90s R&B. Like they love like SWV Week. There's not a little girl that doesn't know all the words to SWV Week even now.
That's one of like the most classic songs.
Yeah,
ever.
Absolutely.
Like I have a girl connected to that song.
Oh, see.
I do. Her name's Candy.
Oh, look at he knows her name.
I was 14. And
you wish you could find her?
I wish I could
Candy,
find her.
This
Candy.
is a shout out to you, honey.
I don't know where you are, but you left me for a guy named Taiwan on the south side. And that song made me weak. I swear to God, I will never forget Candy. We had a whole 3-week romance, and I'm still
not Candy. Not Candy
yeah.
Made you weak. I'm gonna drink to that one.
Yeah, me too. So, all right, I don't want to spend the whole time talking about radio because you're so much greater than that. I mean, your person is just like your soul is just so much more than just a voice behind a microphone.
Right. I think so too.
I mean, yeah. So I do want to know, like, with your so many years of like partying, because you were in the clubs hard. You were like in the club, like you were
in the club. Like, on the east side.
That was your
the
scene.
Monastery, Onyx.
Yo, I mean
the old Onyx, not the strip club Onyx.
But you got paid for that.
I did.
A lot of people just go because, they want some. They just want to be in there, but you actually got paid to
be at a club.
To be at a club. So dope. So during those years, like, those are your wild years, and then when you started interviewing people. Who were you like the most like starstruck by? Like who were you taking back? Like, oh man, like I'm actually in a room with greatness.
As far as interviews go,
I just definitely in the studio with, or like who like made you feel like nervous? Who made you nervous? Whether they were in the studio or you were interviewing, like name like 2 or 3. Like who's like?
I got a little nervous when Puffy was around. I did.
You met him?
I did. He came to town. I don't know if people remember this. This is a throwback. We did a creme de la creme party at the pageant. It was all the rage. You remember that?
Yes.
Everybody had to wear cream.
Yes.
And my PD at the time, shouts out to Tiffany Green. She's the one who orchestrated this whole thing. It was creme de la creme. And I remember his rider was ridiculous. He wanted like lobster tail. And that's when the Rams were popping. And I worked with it. That was the first time I worked with a stylist to get dressed. And I just remember he came to the radio station. And we were interviewing him, and I was so nervous. And he turned around and he said, "Hey, didn't I see you in Miami?" And I was like, "Mm-mm."
Did he said that?
Yeah. And I was like, "Mm-mm. No, you didn't see me in Miami." He was like, "Oh."
Mr. Combs?
And I was like, I looked like I was in Miami kicking it with Diddy. Like, I was a hot girl then. You couldn't tell me shit. So that was a good, so that kind of quelled my nervousness.
I would have felt the same damn way.
Yeah, I calmed down after that. I was like, I'm supposed to be here.
I felt that way when I met Tiana Taylor. Like I was shit. Like I was like so excited. I remember when she was like a little hip hop dancer, and I'm like, and then like when I met her, I'm like, I was really I was starstruck.
You were starstruck.
Yeah.
I was starstruck when I met Mariah Carey. I'm a Mariah fan, like the singer me. Like I auditioned. I auditioned to get in the Webster's vocal jazz program singing a Mariah Carey song. That was one of my songs.
Oh, you have balls. Because that's not an easy thing to do.
No. And I got in.
That's like trying to pick Whitney Houston.
Yeah, no, some Mariah Carey songs. Well, I mean, it was in my range. It wasn't those. I'm an alto. I'm not a soprano.
Mariah Carey can crack.
No, she's amazing. So when I met Mariah, I was definitely like.
Because she's a diva herself.
She is.
Just
what
like
are you saying? I'm a diva.
You definitely are a diva.
We're not going to talk about how he's serving me in plastic.
See, hence the diva. She's drinking like the best bourbon.
And then he wants me to shoot Basil Hayden's. Like,
look, I'm a thug when it comes to drinking. I just shoot the shit.
No.
You want a Jägermeister. For the record, anybody's watching, when I talked to her,
he was like, "We're doing shots." I was like, "Give me Jaeger."
Yeah, then. I'm like, what kind of college frat boy shit are you on?
I mean, I hang out with my brother.
Your brother, yo, shout out to Tony, man.
Tony is the first famous McCain. Like, know that.
Tony is I swear to God, and I've said this to you before. Like when I hang around your brother, it's like I'm hanging out with Dave Chappelle. Like he's so dry.
It's ridiculous.
His humor is dry and it's raspy and it's matter of fact and it's like, and then he'll look at you and then he'll start laughing. Like it's just like, yo, your brother is like a whole comedy show.
He is.
Sometimes like I just want to hang out with him because he's just.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, no,
but it's ridiculous. And I remember it was one time he was like I grew up. The whole time I grew up, I was Tony McCain's little sister.
Yeah.
And then
I can see that,
and then it became. He was Staci Static's brother.
Yeah.
So it like turned around. So it's been great.
The one time I remember about Tony is, I remember a few things about Tony, but he was cooking. He was cooking he's a really talented cook.
He is.
I mean, he could cook his ass off. Tony is a good cook, but he was making this the meat sauce.
A bolognese.
Bolognese sauce. So it has like pork and beef in it.
Right.
So he threw the you get the pack of meat from the store and he throws the shit in there, but you didn't see this. But as I'm stirring it, because like Tony walked away for a minute and I'm stirring it and like that little
thing, the film in there, it's
the
in
film
there.
That was like
what was he drinking?
That it absorbs the moisture from the meat was in the pot.
Oh, okay.
And I pulled out. I'm like, Tony. He's like, oh man, fuck it. Like it was no big deal. Oh, fuck that.
He's like, I just throw it away. Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad that didn't dissolve and we ate that shit, but to him it was like, oh yeah.
No bigger.
Fuck it. So yeah, oh man, that your brother's like crazy. So I appreciate him. Like he definitely keeps people entertained
and fed, well fed,
and well
always.
fed. So what did he do? Did you actually go through with the Thanksgiving thing? Because he was doing something. Was it Thanksgiving that he was going to do something different, like Mexican food?
No. What did we do for Thanksgiving?
Or was it Christmas? He was doing something different, and you were kind of concerned about that.
No, Thanksgiving. Everybody kind of cooked for themselves. I didn't cook anything.
I didn't either. First time in like 20
first time
years.
in forever.
Yeah, I don't
We
remember.
talked about that because normally I brine the turkey and I didn't cook shit.
I brined a turkey for Christmas.
Oh, did you?
And it was amazing.
Oh, well, I didn't
Mom,
cook anything.
Watching,
I didn't cook anything. So, no, he ended up cooking. I did eat at his house. My sister cooked. That was her first Thanksgiving meal that she cooked. But she getting married, so she trying to do right.
Cheers to her.
So,
man.
right. I know. So, but yeah, he did something. It was kind of traditional.
Was it? Because I remember you telling me that he was doing something that was
No,
non-traditional.
we normally do non-traditional Christmases. Okay. I know, because Christmas is normally at my house, and it's a whole big thing. But we didn't do that this year. We did a Zoom party, and I ordered, what did I order on Christmas? Was that Christmas?
You ordered food on Christmas?
It wasn't Christmas. Was it New Year's Eve? Which one was it?
It couldn't have been Christmas. I don't know, but Christmas Eve is one of our busiest
Christmas
days of the year.
was. I did order food on Christmas.
Christmas Day or Christmas Eve?
Christmas Day. Was that Christmas?
Who the fuck is open on Christmas Day besides the Chinese
Asian.
food?
It was
Chinese
an Asian.
food.
It was an Asian restaurant.
Chinaman.
It was the crab place.
Okay, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, it was the crab place. It was,
the Asians are open.
Yeah, kicking crab. We
Nothing
had kicking crab
that.
on Christmas.
Shout out to the Asian people, but
yeah,
they get their money.
On Christmas.
Back in the day, it was the Chinese restaurants and Gus's on Christmas Day.
Was Gus Jewish?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's the thing because
it didn't matter.
Jewish people know. Jewish people go. For y'all that don't know, okay?
Gus was getting his money.
You go eat. Jewish people eat Asian food on Christmas. They go to the Chinese restaurant.
They do.
I know that.
Because they don't. Yeah, they don't. We don't celebrate.
I'm glad you admitted that.
Yeah, my family's Jewish, so
Jewish, right?
I support that. But yeah, we didn't really celebrate Christmas. Anyway, so I talked my mom into it one year. Like I made her feel really bad on Christmas morning because I didn't get the starter coat that I wanted. So I made her feel so bad that she went to Gus's on Christmas Day to buy me a fucking Syracuse pullover or Georgetown.
That's what you wanted?
Yeah, because it was a starter coat. Yeah, because everybody in middle school like had starter coats and like I didn't know shit about Georgetown or Syracuse, but I wanted one because
Because you just wanted to fit in.
Yeah, I wanted to fit in.
Okay.
So now that we're talking about that,
what?
No, I want to talk about like social pressure, social media, climbing social ladders.
Okay.
And like in St. Louis, And like this isn't a show to like put you on the spot, because like I love you to death, and I'm not gonna like, honestly, anybody that I have on a show, I'm not gonna like put them on the spot. I really want to know your input on social media and what it's done to the climate in our world, and what the pressure that is put on young people, because we have kids that are, you know, growing up, and we've seen what the social pressure has done to them, and what they feel like they need to do to keep up. So in our world, we're in our 40s and early 40s.
I'm in my late 40s.
I'm in my early 30s.
I'm not ashamed to admit that.
No, you're not in your late. Anyway, so
I'm in my late 40s.
So now that we're in the social media world, and that's the world that we live in. But to the young people that like are growing up in the social world, young people meaning anywhere from like 15 to 25, like that age, that era there, like the social pressure, even for us. I mean, there's a social pressure for us to, if we don't get a certain amount of activity on something that we post,
right,
we feel a certain way about that. And you may not say, because you're you, but I mean, anybody else that I've talked to, no matter how cool they are, if they don't get a certain amount of likes or a certain amount of engagement, they feel they did something wrong.
Well, it's a game, and it's a business, and that's how I attack it.
But it validates us. In this, wouldn't you say that social media, in a psychological sense?
Well, you know how I feel about that.
I know, but we're talking about the rest of the 98% of the people in the world, not you and I, but those people. I mean, I watched this documentary called anyway, it was on Netflix.
The Social Experience.
Yes. And they would show this girl, she posted a picture and she didn't get much feedback. And then she posted another picture with a filter and some makeup, and then she started getting all these likes. And she smiled. And then somebody pointed out her ears, and then she covered her ears up and went in the bathroom and started crying. Because that's the effect that social media has on us,
right?
And not just young people, but
grown people,
all of us.
No, it's sometimes when I'm strolling, when I'm like just scrolling through Instagram, and I'm like, yo, and then I start being like, I need to lose weight, I need to go get Botox, I need to, oh my God, I need to, and then I tell myself, okay, you got to push away. Because it does affect everybody. I think the real big issue, the greatest issue that I see, I think most recently was when Saweetie got on and said, if your man not buying you a Birkin, get rid of him. And I'm like, yo, who the fuck man is buying them a Birkin? Who the fuck? Yeah, you telling average, everyday women
who can't get a Michael Kors
to ask their man to buy them a Birkin. Okay, so what's going to happen when he gets popped?
And gets locked up or killed.
Over a Birkin? Like, it's... To me, the gross display of wealth, like I like Cardi B and I like Offset. I think they're cute. But what infuriates me is they're just throwing their wealth in people's faces. Like, because their fan base is not going to see that kind of money.
No.
They wouldn't have seen that kind of money had they not basically sold their souls.
Most people will not see that type of money.
And I don't think that it's fair for us to even think that we can live like them.
But that's the thing. Everybody thinks they can.
And that's a problem.
And see, nowadays, back when you and I were younger, we always thought that like being a stripper was taboo.
Not ever since I saw P-Valley.
Well, that was last year. But I'm saying like when we were younger in our 20s, like if somebody said they were a stripper, it was kind of like, oh.
Yeah, because I remember when I was 24, some guy gassed me up. He was like, you could work at the Pink Slip. I was like, you think?
Oh, shit.
And I went home, and I told my mom, I was like, Mama, I'm about to go be a stripper. I'm going to go get me a job at the Pink Slip. And she was like, you don't want to do that. She didn't even get upset. She was like, you don't want to do that. And I didn't.
But it was frowned upon.
Yeah, absolutely.
But nowadays, 16, 17, 18-year-old girls, they idolize strippers. They do, because Cardi B was a stripper. A lot of the rap, the city
Eve
girls,
was a stripper.
Eve was a stripper. So I mean, like they have glamorized this lifestyle, and nothing against stripping. Like,
no.
Honestly, it's an art form that I appreciate.
I want to learn how to pole dance.
Yeah,
if you got some pole teachers
like, if
out
you
there.
can jump on a pole with barely anything on.
I'll have clothes on initially.
I'm not talking about you, but you got to have some balls to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it'll build.
And
you
got to be in shape and all the. I look at their athleticism.
Exactly.
I'm like, I think that there's more to it than that.
You look at their athleticism, but these 17-year-old girls look at the money that they got. They look at their Off-White and their Gucci bags and the car and their loft, and they think that they can get it.
I just wish that we weren't. Who was it? Kanye. They said they made us hate ourselves and love their wealth.
Who's married to Kim Kardashian?
Not for long, probably.
Right.
That's the rumor mill. But I just think that I hate that we've been so in love with designer goods and wealth, and that's really superficial.
It is.
I don't like that. I wish I could change. If I had a magic wand and I could change anything, it would be to make people not look at life like that, because it's so much more.
That? Because I feel the same way, and I'll be honest with you, Kim. Like my closet in my house, which is ridiculous,
shit,
which you've seen, but I do have some designer stuff.
You're kind of ridiculous.
But
we've talked about that.
We have talked about it, but I recently have turned over a new leaf, and I have stopped. And I said this to somebody. I said this to my friend that actually works at Neiman Marcus. I told her, I said, if somebody broke into my house and stole all my shit,
you'd be okay?
I would be fine with that. I just can't get rid of it on my own because I know how much I paid for it. So with me, I look at my closet and I see a boat. I see a retirement.
You're tripping. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what it is now.
But it took for me to get my ass kicked by social pressure.
Okay.
Because I was a part of that. I'm like, well, shit. I wanna impress people. I wanna
with goods that you wear. Okay.
Because I felt like everybody else that was impressive had that shit, and I thought that I had to have it in order to be impressive. And I really.
And I can think of one friend that told you didn't.
You. Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, you on the other side of things, you used to make fun of me for the shit that I had. You would make fun of the way I dressed. You're like, Bobby, I really like you, but you got to stop wearing that.
You're doing too much.
You're doing too much. And
why are you doing that? Who are you trying to impress? Because grown women ain't with
you
that.
would say that to me. You're like, who are you trying to impress? I'm like, I like the quality. Actually, these jeans I have, I actually like the quality of them. But yeah, you were one of those people that would say that shit to me. And I mean, there are some things out there that are good quality. And I do say, I was asking my son, I'm like, Bobby, let me ask you a question. If everybody else in the world tomorrow just became blind, would you still want that Gucci or that Louis Vuitton duffel bag?
And what did he say?
Yeah. I'm like, why? He's like, because it's good quality. I'm like, so is Michael Kors. So is Coach. But Coach
is a great brand, by the way.
But these young people, they're so dead set
classic.
on that it's like Dooney and Burt. It's classic. But they're so set on the fact that Gucci and Louis and all these shits are just better quality because it costs astronomical amounts of money.
It's just not, and you're showing out for other people, and it's kind of whack.
And I was watching, so you know who Gary Vee is.
Of course.
So Gary Vee is this big marketing guy that became famous for his bullshit about wine, and became this big marketing guy. And he's the most arrogant, most inappropriate, obnoxious little short man syndrome fucker out there. But he has some great opinions.
He does.
I don't necessarily agree with his delivery.
You don't?
No.
Oh.
I think that he got a little too comfortable saying fuck to the point where he says it at in excess. It's excessive.
You're not impressed.
I'm not impressed by his. I'm not no. But I am impressed by his intellect. So he did say one time that people that live outside their means and buy that BMW and buy that Gucci are insecure. And that moment when I saw him say that made me offended.
That resonated.
It struck a chord with me because, and I thought to myself, I wore some Prada sneakers all day because I wanted to look cool. And when I got home, I couldn't fucking wait to kick them off and put on some Adidas. Those were the most uncomfortable sneakers I've ever owned, and I have 8 pairs of them.
So you wore Pradas strictly to impress other people, and they were uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's why we do that. That's why.
Because red bottoms are the single most uncomfortable shoe I've ever worn or owned.
I've heard everybody that I've known that has said that. Do you have some red bottoms, Stu? Oh,
they're the most uncomfortable shoe I've ever. Like the art, I don't even know.
I've never had one woman tell me that red bottoms were comfortable. Never. They've all complained about them.
They're the worst shoe, and I would advise against ever owning them.
So yeah, I mean, but yeah, that's the only reason why we buy that shit is to
impress other people.
Yeah, and to watch the rest of this, you got to watch my show. To impress other people.
She got me on live. Did you cut that off?
Yeah, it's off. Finished. Bye. Oh, I canceled it. But I mean, so that's the thing. We buy those things. We buy Gucci. We buy these designer things to impress other people. And that's solely it.
And that's the only reason.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to get off of there.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the only reason. It's not because it's
well, you know how I feel about that.
I mean, I do know, and I feel the same way now. But I happen to still have, like, those belts that cost a lot of money. I still wear them because...
You can sell them online and get more money, and then you can buy your boat.
I can buy a boat. We can buy a pontoon. I could push her off the top of it. I did that before. I got the funniest picture of you, like, climbing out of the water, like, with this the scariest face on, but, yeah. That was good times.
That was good times.
That was good times. So yeah, I mean, yeah, like, all right, so we'll get off of that. But I mean, that's the reason why a lot of people are like stressing themselves out. Like,
and that's me and my sister were having that conversation. She was just like, the only reason that people are like that, they're like seeing all of this wealth and they want to obtain it, but they don't want to do the work to get it. Like, they don't want the education, they don't want to do the work, they just want it. And they're willing to take it, kill, rob, steal. And it's just like, that can't be the solution to getting all of that shit. Like, you've got to understand. Like, you've been in business for how long?
In this business, in a chicken restaurant, 10 years.
It's been 10 years?
It'll be 10 years in April. I'm going to have a big party.
Oh, nice.
If Sam Page will
but
allow
I can attest to the fact that you didn't, even though you were in business for I don't know when you bought your house, maybe when you were in business for 7 years.
I rent my house. I don't even own that shit. I don't own it.
Why not? I don't even want to get in that. But
it doesn't have a basement.
Oh, but the thing is, you didn't overextend yourself to the point of you weren't trying. It was certain things you might have worn your insecurities.
I was trying to fit in, yeah.
But you didn't. But now you know, like, buying property and owning things and doing shit, not wearing it, is the way to go.
Yeah.
You know that.
Well, what happened to me was that I had to understand that those people that were, doing all this extra shit, wearing Versace, driving Audis, doing all this shit, and for the gram.
Right.
For the gram.
For the gram.
For the gram. We're empty. These are empty people. And the people that I know that are like fulfilled, enlightened, intelligent, smart, witty,
they don't give a shit.
They don't give a fuck about any of that.
Because I've been telling you, like.
And I've like.
You used to fight with me.
I've been up and down in that in my life though. Like, there was a time, like, when I was a drug dealer, I had Prada. But before that, I had some boots that didn't even have a name.
Right, exactly.
And I was broke as shit. I had $40 in my pocket. I went to the club with some of my drug dealer friends. I'm like, oh shit, they're buying bottles, the whole fucking bottle.
Which club is this? AJ's?
AJ's. Yeah.
That was one of those. I never worked at AJ's, but I definitely enjoyed myself there.
There was a line around the fucking corner. But they had rooms at the Adams Market, and we just walked straight back in the back, shook hands with the manager, and walked through the kitchen and went into the club. I'm
Good
like,
times.
man, this shit off a movie. And then I'm like, man, I got $40. I can't afford this. They're like, man, you're good, B, you're good. And they're buying bottles and all this shit. I'm like,
that was
damn.
such good times. So what was your favorite club?
Fucking AJ's.
AJ's was your favorite? The Loft? The Loft? I wish you would have asked me that.
What your favorite club was? Mm-hmm. You know what? In the years I've known you, mentioned the Monastery a lot.
The Mono was the most amazing experience because to me,
I like ratchet shit.
I think that people need to understand, and I hate that everybody didn't get to experience the Monastery. At 2:30 in the morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning, Once we got off the live broadcast at 2, it was the most amazing energy I've ever witnessed in my life.
And they weren't shooting each other.
They weren't shooting each other. It was male aggression. Yeah. It was male aggression.
There were
for
fights.
Sure.
Don't get us wrong. I mean,
because this was the crunk era.
Yeah.
So you're talking about white tees, oversized white tees, but the energy, they were able to...
People were still dancing.
They were able to exert their energy and get out their aggressions on the dance floor.
Crunk as fuck.
Yeah. Like the energy, like I wish I could take a snapshot and show it to everybody because that's what we need right now. They would be top, I mean, some of them would rip their shirts out and they're sweating.
They wasn't worried about Dior and
They
Gucci,
didn't give a fuck about any of that. All they wanted to do was...
get crunk.
Oh my God!
And it was roof off of that.
And it was the most amazing, like just to sit there and watch. Cause I would be in the DJ booth and I would just.
I was across the street on my motorcycle.
That's hilarious.
And there's like 80 of us.
I would look at the energy in that room and I was just astounded. It was many a nights that I would fall asleep in the monastery drunk because I was drinking Hennessy at the time.
You want some?
No, I would drink and I have a liquor for every club that I worked at. I did Hennessy and Coke at the Spotlight and Monastery.
Coca-Cola.
Hennessy and Coke.
Okay.
Yes. Hennessy and Coca-Cola. I was never a cokehead.
You do smoke a little weed every now and then.
I do not.
Of course not.
Of course not. I work for Spectrum. And they don't allow drug use.
If she has back in the day.
Yes, when I was a radio personality, I was definitely a 420
friendly.
Compliant. 420 friendly.
420 friendly.
But yeah, Hennessy and Coke was Monastery in the Spotlight. Grey Goose was the Loft and Dreams.
So you went from
I'm sorry. Yes. I did a Moet. I was doing Rosé Moet in the Dreams era. I was definitely doing bottles.
That was hangover shit.
Oh my God. I would lose a whole Sunday. Sunday. I did Mauve on Dreams and the Loft and Grey Goose. It was intertwined. It was a little. So
you drank Hennessy on the east side and Grey
Hennessy
Goose over here
in the younger years. Hennessy and Coke in the younger years. Monastery and Spotlight, because the Spotlight was my first club. And yeah, I moved to Hennessy. I moved to Grey Goose and Champagne later on in life.
So that era.
And then Tequila. At Elmo's Love Lounge.
Oh my God! Yeah, I remember you're like, give me Don Julio. I'm like, oh, excuse me.
And now I can't even tolerate tequila. And now I'm on Basil Hayes.
And that was last
Kentucky.
year, bro. That was like.
Yeah, I know. I can't even. It's straight Kentucky bourbon. Actually,
if you went back to Elmo's, you would not be asking for that. I guarantee it.
I would do. I just went in Elmo's and ordered a to-go order.
Do they have that? Probably. If they have it, it's because of you.
They don't have it.
Oh.
They did have a straight Kentucky bourbon, but it wasn't that.
Okay.
So now that's what I drink, and I may do wine, but no more tequila.
For now.
Tequila's my turn up.
Yeah.
If I'm only drinking
Don't
tequila
act
if
like
I'm
you
going
won't
out.
turn up again, because I remember we've talked about this. Like, oh,
we can talk about
I'm like
the last time I really turned up.
Over that.
Bobby and I went to Onyx, the strip club. Oh my God,
was that the last fucking great turn
That
up?
was the last great turn up.
Because I remember the next day you were like a zombie.
It was okay. We can talk about this. You didn't ask, but I'm gonna talk about it.
I would love to, because that was a great time.
I lost my job. October 22nd was when my radio career ended. Of 2019. 18?
Was it 18? No, it was 2019.
Was it 2019?
Yeah, because we're in 2021, so it was like.
No, because it's been 2 years.
Okay, so it was 2018.
2018.
Yeah.
So it was like in the last quarter of 2018.
I'm glad you brought this up.
I know, because you wanted to talk about it, so fuck it. So I lost my job October of 2018, and then it was in that time period. Between October and January 1st that we went to Onyx.
Yeah.
Because we were somewhere. I was out with...
At a bougie bar.
No, we went to On God. And the drinks were like $17
I will never forget that. I bought
Ridiculous.
2 martinis. It was like $50.
And you were like, what the fuck? So we went out and he was like, you want to go to Onyx? And I was like, fuck it. So I hit Tatum. He was like, I never called Tatum. I was like,
I'm
calling Tatum and telling him I'm here.
I just pulled up.
He's like, pull up, blah, 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 come in. I'm like, yes. And I had the best time ever. I'm getting lap dances. I'm throwing dollars. I done lost my coat.
Cause honestly, like I was so happy that I had you at the strip club.
And I've been to the strip club
I know
before.
You've been to the Slip and all that, but you hadn't been to Onyx.
I hadn't been to Onyx.
I was like, yo, I was like, you want to go to Onyx? And when you're like, yeah, I'm like, are you drunk or like, do you really want to go? You're like, I haven't been. I want to go check it out. I'm like, fuck it, let's go.
Because I was supposed to go for like their opening weekend,
yeah.
and I didn't go. So I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. I'm the type of person, you already know.
You were fucking lit.
I kicked it. I had so much fun at the strip club.
You told this girl she looked like you told who's a buddy of mine, but you look like Cash Doll, and I'm like,
I was like all enamored with Cash Doll at the time. Because I had met Cash Doll because I know like her the girl that was her like road manager. She used to work at a label, and she brought Cash Doll to town one time.
You had martini glasses that night. I don't know. You were lit though.
I was lit, I was like, you look like Cash Doll.
And I was like, yeah.
Whatever.
Sure.
And she was like, and you were like, she looks nothing like Cash.
Not at all. So I'm at the bar. I'm chilling with some girlfriends of mine, some like girls that work there. I'm at the bar. We're drinking, and I turn around, and you're at the stage getting not a lap dance, but the girl was like twerking right in front of your face.
I had a ball. I had so much fun.
And I gave you some money, so you just
right. Once you give me money, I'm throwing money.
She throwing money, and I'm just like, and I was like,
you know what? The last time somebody gave me money at a strip club was Chinks Drugs, R.I.P. I was in Brooklyn.
Oh shit!
I have lived a life. Yes. I can tell you that. I was in Brooklyn at a strip club, and Chinks Drugs gave me some money to throw money at strippers. And I like threw all of the money, and I should have pocketed it.
I turned around and you were at the stage getting entertained, and
I don't even remember the night, but it was good times.
It was great times. But the only thing that was like fucked up about it was like I was trying to, you lost your coat which had your cell phone and your keys in it.
I found it though.
Yeah, after we walked around the club 3 times.
And I picked up trash bags.
Which is
like
what I don't do. And
I'm
trying to explain to you, like when I go to the strip club, I don't like to be seen. I don't like to be.
You were seen that night.
Yeah, I was seen, and you went to the DJ booth. You were over here, and I'm following.
Because Cristal was DJ.
I'm following you around. Shout out to Cristal, the homie. But and what you found, I don't know how you found it.
Because I just backtracked myself because I was like, no, I was like very cognizant. Because when I put my coat away, I was like, I'm putting my coat right there.
I was so ready to go.
So I can get it back. But I had a thank you for taking me to the strip club that time.
We kicked it.
We had so much fun.
Even though the next day you called me like I'm dead right now, like I am too.
Yeah,
we were both hurt.
Yeah, I was hurting, but I had so much fun. It was the best time. Because I've been in strip clubs plenty of times. Obviously, I just told you by the time I was in a strip club in Brooklyn and Chinks gave me money. Like I don't even.
Honestly, the best times of strip club life has been in Brooklyn at the Pink Slip for me.
My very first strip club was the Pink Slip.
Yeah, I mean that's like a staple in our culture.
Yeah, and then I was impressed because some dude was like, "You worker?" And I was like, "I do not." I was like, "I can be a stripper."
Not
now.
You still can.
Not now.
I mean, if you have an interest, I'm sure they would like you.
I'm not about to be a stripper.
No?
But I was always like, I could be a stripper. I could be making money out here. But
if all else fails, just know that you...
I'm too old.
No, you're not.
I've aged out.
I guarantee they would like you.
Okay.
We don't need to talk about that, though. But yeah,
okay, what else were you going to ask me?
No, let's talk about that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not even going to do you like... Are you blushing?
A little bit, probably.
Because you know you're fine. Look at you.
I mean, I do okay.
You know you're fine. You the last picture that you post on Instagram, it was like a purple dress. It was a purple dress. You were like leaning up against like a railing, and you were like looking.
Oh yeah, that was like it wasn't purple. It's pink.
Pink.
But fuchsia.
Me, yeah. Oh, excuse me. But you had on like it was very elegant, and when I saw it, I'm like, oh my god, like it got a lot of engagement, and I was like, I look at you as like you're my friend. Like I don't like see you in this. I don't see you in that.
Right.
Because I know you personally, but when I saw that, I'm like that's my friend. Like I was really proud that you like have that type of engagement and people like really admire you. I mean, I admire you for different reasons.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, for sure. When people, like, engage with me like that, I'm like, oh, wow, I'm not that cool. But, like, you are literally that cool. You're that beautiful. You're that talented. And people, I don't think you have any enemies. There's haters. There's people that might, like, have a grudge.
But, you know, I never acknowledge haters. And if I can give young people any advice, never acknowledge your haters.
What do you do to them?
They don't exist. They don't exist. You don't give them energy. They don't exist. Anytime that I've had an adversary, I've never acknowledged them. Like, they literally don't exist. I had an adversary in high school, and she will tell you that the bitch never even looked at me. If we passed each other on the steps, she looked straight ahead.
But she didn't like you.
We're cool now. But no, I did not talk to her for 4 years of high school. Like, she didn't exist. She just literally, she was dead to me.
You want to shout your high school?
I went to Rosati Kane.
You went to, like, Catholic school.
I went to Rosati Kane.
Yeah.
I was Catholic school educated from kindergarten to 12th grade.
Which is, like, weird to me.
It's not, if you knew my father, but you didn't. But my father
I've heard so much about him.
My dad was, he got out of the south side of Chicago through the Catholic parish. He joined the military shortly after high school, but that's how he got out.
But the Catholic school definitely does not define you.
No.
We're not going to get into
that.
But
it's
today.
Definitely a stepping stone, and I always shout out, even though Rosati, I have my issues with Rosati, saying that I went to Rosati Kane was definitely something that helped me.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's like a prestigious, when you say, I went to Harvard. Rosati Kane is like, oh.
In St. Louis, it's like, you went to Rosati.
Like, for a local thing.
Yeah, of
like,
course. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what's up. And that's cool. You went to Catholic school. Like,
my whole life.
Oh, my God.
Shouts out to Ascension. Corey Bush also went to Ascension. I just found that out recently.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool, man. So, I want to talk about, like, because I was saying, like, how great of a person you are. I want to talk about, like, your taste in men.
Okay,
let's talk about your taste in men, because
okay.
There's a couple people out there that think that you and I are like dating each other, and like we flirted. I mean, because you're a pretty girl and I'm a good looking guy.
Listen to this guy. He's a good looking guy.
I mean, but that's why you and I are so close. I mean, I appreciate your friendship, but like there is a thing that you have told me about over the past several years about that you don't trust a man that doesn't have facial hair.
A mustache, specifically.
You said facial hair.
A mustache.
So tell me about that, because like I want to put you on the spot right now. What do you mean by that?
If he doesn't have a stash,
he's
I can't.
What?
Nothing.
It's okay.
If he doesn't have a
it's
stash.
It's okay to be gay. It's fine. I have a lot of gay friends.
He has to at least have a mustache.
Why? Let's talk about that. I mean, is that your
because he may
preference?
not like women.
Is that he might not like women if he doesn't have a mustache?
If he doesn't have a mustache. If he's black and does not have a mustache, you're excluded from this conversation.
All right, so
if you are black and you don't have a mustache.
But you said that somebody was excluded from that recently. Somebody didn't have a mustache that was okay. You told me this like recently.
Who was it, Obama?
Yeah, I think it was Obama.
It may have been Obama.
What if he popped up with a goatee one day?
I'd be like, Obama could get it. But no. But no. Did you see the picture when Obama had like a beard? I was like, Obama got a beard! Oh my God.
I know you were so excited.
I was like, Obama, if Obama got a beard, I'm getting a poster.
This has been a running thing with me and you for a long time.
Yeah, because I try to get you to get like a full
and I
beard.
hadn't.
Because I'm like, white boy beards are the best. And he won't get one.
It was so uncomfortable.
Oh my God, I was so mad at him. I was like, you won't even, what? I was mad at you.
But I would do it for
to
you.
try to appease me.
For you, but I would let you know how uncomfortable
and I was. Like, I don't even want to hear it.
I just couldn't do it.
I was like, you soft.
I hated it.
I was so mad at him.
All
swear
right,
to God.
Fine. Well, yeah. We'll just keep that forever. My producer has a beard down past his fucking...
He got the ZZ top.
Yeah, he got it.
Yeah, but he won't even commit to like... Soft.
Maybe that's what it is, but it itches bad,
he was like,
bro.
it itches so bad. I was like, you soft.
I can't do it.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Does that make me less attractive?
I always told you you're handsome. I was like, oh, my Bobby is so handsome. I always tell Bobby he's handsome.
While we're on air. I appreciate that.
Even though I called him Tommy Shelby the other day. Do you watch Peaky Blinders?
I don't like being referenced because somebody told me
Somebody said you look like Tommy from Power. You do not.
They said I remind them.
You do not.
At all.
At all.
First of all, he was on Grey's Anatomy pregnant. And I can't take him seriously after that. Tommy is not a fucking thug. He didn't grow up on the South Side.
No, I call you Tommy Shelby from Peaky Blinders.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
You don't watch Peaky Blinders?
Why would I watch that? What is that?
It's a period piece about like this British crime family.
Oh, now I'm a British guy?
I mean, I know you're not, but no.
Is he cool?
I love Tommy Shelby.
Right. Is he genuine? Like, do you believe him?
Right. Yeah, no, Tommy
from
Shelby.
Power.
No,
yeah,
I didn't. Tommy from
like,
Power. I wouldn't do you like that.
People did me like that.
I know.
I'm a white guy.
Yeah,
like,
they were like, you
Eminem,
Tommy. No, I called you Tommy
John
Shelby.
B.
You might not be as cool as Tommy Shelby, but I like Tommy Shelby.
Because he's on TV. If you met
no,
him in person, he wouldn't be
it's
that cool.
Thomas Shelby.
His
do you watch Peaky Blinders? Anybody who watches Peaky Blinders understands.
So you have a thing for Tommy Shelby?
I have a thing for period piece criminals.
All right. Well, let's talk.
I got a thing for like old school drug dealers.
So what is your type?
Smart.
Now that we're talking to Kim.
Mm-hmm. I like smart men. That is number one on my list. Smart. Confident. No. Confident, smart. Smart first. Confident second.
Attractive?
They have to be attractive to me. And that's relative.
Right. It very very
yeah.
relative.
So who I might find attractive may be not attractive to the masses. But
right. And that's always been a thing with me with like my ex-girlfriends. Like people have said they're like, I would expect to see you with like.
Yeah,
and I'm
but
like,
it's about what's attractive to me.
Yeah, what I like.
Yeah,
right.
I'm not a chubby chaser. Even though I'm a little thick, I don't like big boys. That's not my thing.
The first time we hung out was on the track. We were walking.
Is that the first time we hung out? I don't even remember
maybe
that.
It might have been the first time we hung out. I was like, I just want to hang out with you. I was
like, you got to come meet me
at the track. I'm like, all right, well, we're just going to go walk around the track.
I kind of fell off in the last 3 months with this COVID.
Because you've been on like 8 different diets since I've known you.
Yeah, but now I do believe in intermittent fasting, and I believe in walking.
Next year it'll be different.
No, intermittent fasting is my way to lose weight for life. I eat all the time now.
It's good for your metabolism.
It is.
It's not.
Whatever.
Because carbohydrates. Even if you like eat between 12 and 8 and you eat a bunch of fucking carbs, it's not going to do anything. Whatever. We're not going to do that. So I mean your type is very smart and
smart, athletic, and confident.
Okay.
That's my type.
And then
That's my type. That's my type.
So with that being said, no, listen, I really want to know.
Right, let me check the time. Ooh, yeah, I'm late.
All right. So when you
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever met a celebrity that
what's my type?
Yeah. And so answer that.
Okay. The only celebrity I will tell you, I will give you all of my celebrity
crushes.
I'll give you my celebrity run-ins where I thought it could have been, might have been, almost was something.
Let me ask you a question before you answer that. And then we're going to talk about that. I want to know what celebrity that you met could have got it that night. And don't act like you're better than now.
I know, never.
But like, what celebrity?
Because I never slept with a celebrity. Let's just say that.
Right, but if you did,
when I met Miguel,
he could have got it that night. Come on, Kim. Don't act like a diva right now.
No. When I met Miguel, my life changed. He met me at a time where I was going through some shit.
He's not your type.
No. He came in the studio, and because I did some research before I interviewed him, and I watched him on BET's 106 in Park. He was on there. And when he first came out, he had no facial hair. But when he went on 106 in Park, he had a beard. So when he came in the studio, it was like Miguel. They were like, Miguel is, because I realized I've always liked beards, even before beards became a thing. So when he came into the studio, I was like, they were like, you interviewing Miguel today, and I literally did not comb my hair before I went to work that day. And they said Miguel is coming in for an interview, and I was like, all right, whatever.
Miguel can talk the
But I did not even pay. I was like, whatever. You talking about that dude that got no facial hair? And then I saw him on BET. I was like, he kind of cute with the beard. So he came in and he had on this sweater and he had a beard. And I was like, oh, I was hoping you had that beard when you got hair. And he's like, and then the way he hugged me and then he smelled nice. I was like, shit.
So.
And I felt away.
You felt away.
I felt away. So I had a huge crush on him. One time, Tyrese came in, and Tony J, R.I.P. I love Tony J. Tony J made fun of me so hard because Tyrese came in and he was rubbing me.
He's the most clean-shaven brother I've ever seen.
But Tyrese has the most amazing speaking voice, and he kept massaging my shoulders, and I was like, "Why are you touching me?" And Tony J was like,
I kind of like it.
Oh my God. And Tony J was like, he was just over. Tony was in the corner laughing his ass off. He was like, and he was, because he's watching my reaction to Tyrese just, I was like, why do you keep touching me? He was like, I like it. And I was like, I feel away. Like, I had to call my boyfriend at the time, like, I
felt away?
I think Tyrese could have got it. I think he could have got it.
I think he could.
I think he could have.
From the look on your face.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I know when you blush.
But but it was just funny because I remember Tony J. He teased me about that for years. He was like, "Nah, when Tyrese came here, I mean that was
I'm still gonna tease you from now on."
Oh really? Yeah. Okay.
So right, Tyrese and Miguel could have got
Miguel, Tyrese, and Allen Iverson was my brush.
He's like 5 feet tall.
Who?
Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson is not 5 feet tall.
He's taller than that?
He's like 6 feet. 6'1",
really?
maybe? Yeah.
Oh.
But he came but I like wrote a song about Allen Iverson. I had I was like a big Allen Iverson fan, and he came to town and his security was like, "You come here," and I was like, "I got chose, bitch.
I got chose.
I got chose." And I went into VIP. We were at Pepper Lounge. It was ridiculous.
I love Pepper.
And my friend was like, "Girl, just stand here with them titties. You gonna be?" And I was like, "Oh my God." And so his security was like, "You come here," and I went up there, and I was like, instantly.
And you were Staci Static.
I was Staci Static.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do it.
Why?
Because I was Staci Static. I felt so uncomfortable. And I was like, at least I got chose.
But if you weren't Staci Static, if you were just like
I didn't
Kimberly,
know, because I was not the only girl in VIP, so I was so uncomfortable. I was like, what am I going to be expected to do? Like,
right, you chose me, but now
I don't know what that means. He's like, he was saying something to me, and I was like,
kind of, you know what it means.
And I was like, but I was so exactly, and I was like, I'm not cut out for this. I'm me. Like at the end of the day.
So there's nobody that I really want to ask you this question.
Like who could get it? Who
on that
night
I've
met?
That you've met?
Miguel probably.
That could have cracked that night.
That night.
Single.
But then I
met
right. But then I saw Miguel, and I'm
talking about that night.
That night. Had he really pushed up? Yeah.
Miguel could have got it.
Miguel could have got it.
Hey, Miguel.
He's married now. Totally respectable. But this was long before he was married.
I really wanted to know that. I mean, on a personal level, I really wanted to know.
That was the one.
Because, okay, for you and I,
with the beard, Miguel with the beard.
Yeah,
and Usher.
Usher with the beard.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love Usher.
So Usher, Miguel, Allen Iverson, and Tyrese.
Not Allen Iverson.
No, but you kind of felt some way that you got chose that night.
I was just happy that he was like, "You come here," because he.
So let me ask you this. So I want to ask you this real quick.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, we're talking about aesthetics here. We're talking about like socialism and what appeals to us. But when it comes to us finding mates in the world, what are we looking for that we're missing? And do you think that we're too picky? You and I, us being friends, you know me. And I know you, but what is it that we're looking for?
You like big booty girls.
I mean, I'm sitting next to you. You gotta.
I don't have a big booty. I'm not an ass man's girl. I
really don't though. I like boobs. I like boobs. Now she has those.
I do have those, but I think somebody asked me that recently. Am I too picky? And I would say no.
You don't think you're too picky?
I don't think I'm too picky. I think I'm particular, but I don't think I'm too picky. I don't have like this. He got to be 6 feet.
No.
The guys that I just named are short. You know,
right,
I don't.
Right, because like people will say,
"Well,
what's your type?" And you'll be like, "I don't know. Like, I don't really have a type." But
I have a type.
I know what isn't my type.
I have a type, but I'm not married to it.
So, like, what do you think is like holding you back from like finding that person?
I think I need to go to therapy.
Do you? You think it's internal?
I do.
Or do you think that like he's out there but you haven't discovered him? Or
I probably have, but I think maybe I entered into it wrong, or the timing wasn't right, or yeah.
Do you ever feel like it's better? Stu.
Yeah.
What's up, bro? I'm just. Do you ever feel like Do you ever feel that your expectations are too high?
No.
Come on.
No.
I feel that way about you.
You think my expectations are too high?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
I really do. I feel like if somebody doesn't like strike every chord in you, that you're not gonna open up to them.
Huh.
Because you and I have talked about, and you have had like people that have like come at you like in very disrespectful ways, but people that have like you've been attracted to, but there was one thing that they missed. There was one beat that
and
they
I'd be
were
like,
off,
bye.
and you were so like done. Like they could strike all these other chords, but they strike the wrong one and they're done.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Interesting.
So I feel like you might be like thinking like if they don't fit.
I'm not looking for perfection. I don't think. Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Bobby done put my business in the street. I don't think so, Bobby.
I do though.
Huh. Okay, we can explore that later.
Let's
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I just really think that you put your mate on a pedestal.
Huh.
I really do. I really do. I think that they have to compliment you in a certain way, but retract enough and play their part. Yes.
I will say this. I think since I've left the public eye, so to speak, I think that I definitely have a different needs and different wants in a partner.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
So and real quick, I want to spend like 3 minutes on this. There was one time when you told me that I was like, okay, so I used to date somebody that was on Channel 2 or on the news, and then like 5 years later, I had coffee with somebody else that was.
And I was like, you a groupie, you a media groupie.
In the same profession.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you call me, you're like, I know what you're up to. Like that's what you're on.
I was like, he a media groupie. Look at you, groupie.
But do you still feel that way? Is that like?
No, I think that you try to date people who can compliment you as well.
But in the same sense, like I wasn't trying to date her.
I didn't care.
It was just
I
two
told
people,
you it was somebody that came to me with that
But it
information.
came to you in the sense like, oh, Bobby's like that's.
But I checked that person too. I was like,
what
don't
he's
be telling me,
on.
don't tell me what somebody else is doing, because that ain't my man. Don't tell me what somebody
Right,
that ain't
exactly.
my man doing.
But that was another person that was like climbing ladders. But I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people that climb ladders here. Does that happen to you a lot? Do people? And I'm glad that came up because I want to know, do you ever look at people that like introduce you to somebody else as, oh, this is Staci Static, and then they actually call you Staci? Do you ever feel like, well, that's not really my friend?
It's a balancing act, right? Because obviously, if people meet you in a certain capacity, then that's who you are to them. So one of my friends, he's very honest in that I need you to be my celebrity friend when you show up to this event. You already know who that person may be because he's very honest. He's very real.
That's my guy.
But sometimes he'll introduce me as Kim because he's just like, I'm respecting the fact that sometimes you're Kim.
And I know when and not. Sometimes I ask you, but you know,
like
I've
who am
asked
right? And so he's the same way. So it's like some people understand the social. You can't expect everybody to get it. And that's another thing. I think that when you say that I'm hard on people and I expect people to be a certain way, I think that I've grown enough to know that some people get it and some people don't.
We're in St. Louis.
It's a very small. This is a small town.
And there are a lot of people that try to use your name to like gain access.
Yeah, but those people, I can sniff that out.
Are you sure?
I can sniff that out pretty good. I sniff it out pretty good. I know. Trust me, when I know what it is.
And I know, and then because I've asked you, I'm like, did they? I said, did they introduce you as Staci Static, or did they introduce you as Kim?
It's funny because most recently this guy was trying to date me. He invited me to his friend's house, and he was like, "Yeah, I want you to come to my friend's house." And I was like, "Well, did you tell them who I was, who I am, who I was, who I am?"
I've never.
Well, he did, and he was just like, "Well, yeah," and I was like, "You shouldn't have done that." It's one thing if I show up and they like, "Ain't that?" But when you introduce me
as that,
when you preface it, the whole thing, I'm like, you lame. I don't like you already. You whack.
And I'm sure that's been a
but
thing.
You kind of gotta expect that though. Like with you, I have to tell you all the time. I'm like, but you're a celebrity chef in St. Louis.
I'm not.
Stop it.
All right, whatever. I sell chicken and fries. Like I can't be.
You got a whole podcast, and you've been on Fox 2.
I just started it.
You a celebrity chef in St. Louis.
I am pretty
you
good
like
at
the
it.
Bobby Flay of St. Louis, and you sit up. Might not like that reference. I don't know, whatever chef. But you like the Bobby Flay of St. Louis, and you be having the nerve to have an attitude about being a celebrity chef. Own who you are.
Right, but I honestly feel like when people start introducing me as like, this is Bobby from St. Louis Wing Company, I feel like that's their angle.
It may be.
It feels like that.
But you can't be mad about that because that's
who
you are.
But I do get mad. I do. I mean, internally, I feel like, is that why you're friends with me? Because
it might be.
Well, I don't like that.
Well, you don't have to like it.
Well, I won't date you then.
You don't have to date them.
And I won't.
But you can find out another angle to use them the way they're using you.
Yes, I can.
And on that note, we out.
I appreciate
this has been fun.
Dude, you got to come on again.
Okay, that's fine.
We'll drink more Basil Hayden's.
You won't drink it.
I won't.
You're going to try it.
Can we have your brother next time we come on?
We absolutely can. Can we cook?
Probably not.
Okay, fine.
I can cook, though.
I know. Let me tell the story about how I came back from LA and I had some crispy Brussels sprouts. And I told you about my crispy Brussels sprouts.
I've been on a kick
excursion. And I was like, oh, and it had this, that, and the third in it. And you recreated them for me. Yes. And I was so happy. And we've been friends ever since. Because, the way to a girl's heart is her stomach. Is that how I
validated myself to you with the crispy Brussels sprouts?
Like, you sent me a picture of, like, beef broccoli and crispy Brussels sprouts. She was like, are you coming? And I was just like, oh, did you cook all of that for me? I love food. And it was the crispy Brussels sprouts. Like, you really recreated the...
Because I value you as a friend.
Like, and I was excited. So thank you for that. You can cook me crispy Brussels sprouts whenever you want to.
I got you.
And I can cook, too. Can you tell the people that?
You can cook.
Thank you.
You can cook.
Okay.
You be throwing down.
I do be throwing down when I feel like it.
You introduced me to some cookbooks, but like you don't even need them. You be doing your thing.
I'll be trying.
In your little ass kitchen.
In my little... Why you gotta talk about my little kitchen? I said I was gonna do a show on my little kitchen.
Really?
So I can get a big kitchen.
What are you gonna call it? Little kitchen?
Little kitchen.
Yeah,
little ugly kitchen.
Little kitchen? Mm-hmm. I mean, but you be throwing down. No. Mm-hmm. I appreciate somebody that like knows food and cooks food.
Yeah, because I had just had some brown butter polenta with boursin cheese.
Oh.
I didn't cook it, but I was just like, as soon as I took a bite, I was like, this is brown butter. I knew immediately it was brown butter. And then I looked at the menu again, that nutty flavor. And then I was like, what else is in here? And it was boursin. And I was like, this is amazing.
Because we went to Louis' Wine Dive one time.
That place is amazing, too.
And we had the Brussels sprouts. Mm-hmm. And they were, like, great.
Crispy, yeah.
That's the only thing I remember from that night.
That's it?
The Brussels sprouts.
Oh, okay.
Because you recommended the place.
Yeah.
And it was a good time.
That place is good, yeah.
I don't think we've ever had a bad time.
No.
We had a good time at Cicero's.
We have a good time everywhere.
You remember Cicero's?
Yes, of course. What?
And you know what? Honestly, when Cicero's closed...
I was sad.
I was sad. And I was honestly sad because of the time that you and I
We went to Cicero's? We did. You met me at Cicero's.
We were at the bar, and I was having a moment. I needed a person, and you were my person.
Oh, okay.
And it was at Cicero's at the bar. We got
and you were like, that was my place. Yeah.
And ever since then, I'm like, damn. So that's the memory that I cherish about Cicero's.
Aww.
Was you. Yeah.
Cicero's. R.I.P. to Cicero's.
Damn, Cicero's. That was like 30 years.
They had a nice little run.
Yeah.
Favorite restaurant in St. Louis? Other than your own?
Fuck, man. You're putting me on the spot. I want to ask you that.
It all depends on what I'm eating.
Me too.
Okay, that's fair.
My favorite restaurant, honestly, either Katie's Pizza and Pasta.
Okay.
Broadway Oyster Bar. Fuck. And High Point for their burgers.
Really?
Yeah. Their burgers are like really dope.
I like the Dam's burgers.
I haven't been to the Dam.
Really?
No. We gotta go to the Dam.
The Dam is.
We're going
they
to
got
the
the
Dam.
best burgers, and it's female owned.
Really?
Yep.
I'm working for it.
Mhm.
Well, shit. Tell me something. Tell me something I didn't know. What did you eat today? Today is Sunday.
I didn't eat. I had a popsicle.
Did you eat fast? You and your fucking popsicles. Like, let's spend a minute talking about your popsicle.
I don't know why I have this popsicle thing. Somebody told me I had an oral fixation. I was like, what the fuck?
You need to be sucking on some flavored ice there.
I was a little embarrassed. I was like, what you mean? So, yeah.
You said it out loud. I have a thing for popsicles.
I do.
So you said you went to Schnucks and they were out of it?
They're completely out of the flavor that
and
I like.
you were flabbergasted. Like,
I went to 3 different Schnucks. I was like, clearly everybody else is having
in
a
the
popsicle
wintertime
moment. Everybody is having a popsicle moment. And I blame Malcolm Harris. He's an Instagram star. He eats popsicles on camera. He doesn't talk about the popsicles. He just eats them. And that's when he's like, this popsicle is good. And I was like, popsicle? So the next time I went to the grocery store, I went to the popsicle section and I picked out a popsicle that I liked.
It's frozen Kool-Aid.
Yo. And I was like, I like this popsicle. And apparently everybody else likes the same. They're watching him and eating popsicles and they all like the same brand that I do.
So we need to get an influencer to like something.
No, I need to come up with my own line of popsicles.
But by then,
nothing.
So right now, the way to Staci, Kim's heart is popsicles.
I like a popsicle.
She likes a good popsicle.
And fried okra. You didn't mention that.
No, I know that.
Fried okra and popsicle.
I'm talking about the things that you could suck on, but you can't chew a popsicle. Not in that. Don't do that. I'm just saying, like, you suck on popsicles, right?
I like popsicles.
I like fried okra.
I like popsicles and fried okra.
When they come around to Lambert's and they give you the fried okra.
Somebody said, you must like Lambert's. I was like, I do. When they have the potatoes, the smothered potatoes, and the rolls, and the okra,
and by the time
the
dinner gets there, you
don't even
hungry.
need that because you got the fried okra and the potatoes and the rolls.
Looks like we might be taking a drive to Sykeston.
Are they even open? It's COVID.
Yeah, I'm open.
And they're
open.
Okay.
That's Trump country.
You got me drunk.
You ain't drunk. You ain't drunk, bye.
All right, and I'm late. All right. Thank you.
So look, thank you so much for coming on my show. We're gonna do it again.
I guess.
We're gonna get in depth. We're really gonna get in depth on the next one, because you didn't curse enough tonight. You didn't get ratchet, and you were really calm. You were Kim. You were very good, and I appreciate it.
I mean, I got a corporate job now. I try to keep my shit together.
No, I do.
Okay.
I do too.
Okay.
No, I really don't.
You are your own boss.
I am my own boss.
Okay.
But thank you. I love you. So look.
Follow me on all of the social media networks. I'm Staci Static on everything except for LinkedIn. I'm Kimberly McCain.
Let's talk about that real quick. I'm sorry. On Instagram, when I first met you, you were the real Staci Static.
And somebody had my name.
And then I was like,
you told me. You were like, try it again. And I went and it was open.
And it was Staci Static.
And Staci Static was open. So I'm Staci Static everywhere except for LinkedIn.
Yeah. Staci Static.
With an I. Staci.
Staci Static.
Yep.
That's my good friend. Shout out to Kiwan.
Shout out to Kiwan.
For the You See Me.
I need one of these, bruh.
He was going to pull up tonight, but you know the text he sent me, he said he missed his hair appointment. He missed his barber appointment.
And you know that's serious business for a black man in St. Louis to miss their barber
Who
appointment.
always wears hats 24/7.
It does not matter. Do you understand how crispy your hair has to be in St. Louis? That's the thing. That might be something you don't really.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, because you're bald, so you don't
So is
even
he.
have to worry about it.
He's bald too.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, apparently not. Maybe it was his beard appointment he missed.
Shout out to Kiwan, my motherfucking homie. You see me.
The big homie.
You City.
Right.
It's my guy. Staci Static.
Thank you.
We love
for
you
having
guys.
me.
Thank you for coming on my show.
It was fun. Thank you.
Are you sure?
I guess. I hope people aren't thinking I'm crazy.
I'm the crazy one.
I'm crazy
you're
too.
Fucking normal.
Okay.
My last guest, she was on Saturday.
She sounded like she was turned up, and I'm mad I missed it. I should have been in the building for that one.
Oh, we should have had a fucking DJ for that shit. We should have a fucking DJ. Anyway, like, I love you. Stay static. I'm out. Drunken Chicken Diaries. Boom.